You too. How everyone doing? I hope y'all doing wonderful and having a good day. Okay, this is for Bailey, Colorado. It's a complete shame the way you treat your small town, tight knit community. That you have the audacity to sit there and keep information from the public, from America, basically. And you sit there and you do this because you claiming it was no threat to your community, which that is a complete bold-faced fucking lie. Very big bold-faced fucking lie. I get on to more and talk about that town, but most important is this is about Maggie Long and for her family. I hope you get the justice that you deserve, and my condolences to your family. Maggie Lund did a lot of plays for her school. She was in a lot of clubs, in academic clubs, and also everyone in her school loved her. A lot of people loved her in that town. And for something like this to happen, for her to become a missing and the cops don't do hardly anything, it's messed up. Her parents was Chinese immigrants. They actually was born in a refugee camp. So they came to America and they opened up several businesses. So, they were not minimum wage people. So you would think that the cops would have did more. See, that's why I be saying it's not about color, it's not about money. Why the cops don't look for you or give a fuck. I think it's just them being fucking lazy. I don't know how many videos I have to say this to. Being lazy, not caring. Because the head guy, he went to Miami. Just went to Miami in the middle while she was missing in the beginning. And she was a kid that loved theater, so she loved theater and she was very good in it. And she had a play that day. She went home to pick up the cookies that she didn't bring to school that day, and no one never seen her again. And then they said that it was a fire at the house, and that someone broke. They said it was a fire at the house. That's the only thing her parents knew, and they said she was missing. Not only that, it was a person upstairs while this fire. Well, they said it was a fire. So they went upstairs. It was a guy, and he was the one that called the cops and said that it sounded like something violent was going downstairs and stuff like that. So I'm like, where is this person at? And it's just the whole thing is just fucking crazy. It pisses me off. Um, Hold on. Yeah, so they said the media and a lot of other people to know any information. They put a gag order where they couldn't talk and say anything about anything they know. So I think that's kind of strange for them not to talk and say anything about anything they know about, and saying that there's no reason for to alarm the small little town and nothing to worry about because there was nobody out there dangerous and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's kind of fucking strange as shit. But with the outcome, that's why I say that. So on the 7th, they reported that Maggie was found dead in the home. Now, with her being found dead in the home and them not releasing the autopsy, saying that it was very important for the case not to release the autopsy because of what? Because it can scare the person that stole the items from the house. Now, y'all already gave them 7 days head start. 7 whole days head start. They said it was nothing to be alarmed about. It was a fire in a person's house that they was basically well off. And you saying that it was nothing to worry about. Somebody set somebody's home on fire. And the roommate that was upstairs, he heard some of it. I think they said it was a guy. And A couple of guns are missing, but you keep that under the rug. And a bunch of ammo is missing. Some green fingerings that were very, very expensive is missing. And you don't think that you should alarm the public, but you want to put a gag order on this shit? What kind of shit is that? So you want to keep it quiet. Wow. So is it DNA evidence? So is evidence, so most likely it's DNA. So is it under the nails, or is it of the sexual nature? Reason why? Hmm? Hmm? Is it a rape kit? Is that what it is? See, y'all be doing if y'all be honest with the media and stuff like that, and the media be honest with the people that actually have to live around there, what if they stole the ammunition to rob a bank? And y'all a small, close knit town that they keep secrets and like to stay to yourselves. So half of you staying to yourselves, and then there's stuff going around in that small town. So with that being said, a lot of shit can happen. Was you intentionally to give the person a head start? Is the cop that was the head guy? Is that person related to him or something? That just makes me wonder. And when my mind wonders, it wonders. I mean, it wonders. I just cannot get off certain things and just think about it and think about it and think about it and think about it. And so after 2 months, they initially did a press release, and then couple about what 4 or 5 months later, then they released the first sketch. So basically, you already know who the person possibly looked like, and you already know that it was two vehicles. Why is it two vehicles? But I thought it was only. They saying it could have been 3 men, but they only have a sketch of 2 men, and they showing two different vehicles. What kind of sense did that make? Sound like they're grabbing their scrawls to me. And if the person had a good visual on this person, and they waited whole 7 days, did that even sound right to you? Because it sure the hell don't sound right to me. Not at all. Not a fucking all. Yeah, so the guy that was on this case in the beginning, he retired to fucking Miami. And it's also something else. Another crime happened similar to the same thing. The woman was kind of burned alive because she wouldn't give her the code to her safe. They said that she have 2nd degree and 3rd degree burns to half of her body. Now these two dudes look exactly, well, very. I'm gonna just say exactly, just like these sketches. So you telling me that no one can't come forward and say, and the detectives now, the FBI and all them that are dealing with it now, cannot say that these are not the same damn dudes? They look exactly the fucking like them. It's no denying that. No denying that. Look just like them. But they in jail for the other crime that they did. That woman actually got away. She was 20 something years old, paired to a 17-year-old that had her whole life ahead of her. But people, some bad people decided they just don't, they couldn't stand that or whatever. But here's the other thing. What if they would have stole them guns because they had beef with certain cops and at the police department, and they went there and killed all the cops that they didn't like and was on the run? I bet then they would have got off their ass and stopped trying to push things under the damn rug and fucking do their damn job and make sure the people that actually did the crime is in trouble. The people that did the crime go to jail for it. I bet then they would have fucking been arrested. if they would have stole all them guns to target the police department. Or much worse. So I'm like, all these states and all these different departments of the police departments and stuff like that, for all the bad police officers, they should start firing their asses, because if y'all want to have respect and for people to actually give a fuck about you, the cops, you might want to go ahead and start kicking out your bad cops, because how things are going and how this stuff right here is continuing to go on, continue to happen. A lot of people don't have a lot of faith in cops today. And that's just going to keep growing if they don't start doing their damn job. The good ones. I'm talking about the bad ones. The bad ones, the good ones need to do their job. And if they see their fucking partner doing some fuck shit, they need to go on ahead and start the fucking paperwork and get their ass the fuck out of there. Because things can get very bad for them. Because a lot of people don't trust the cops today. And a lot of the good ones are getting killed. Because I remember this case where this young police officer, she was just fresh, green, right out of high school or something like that. I mean, she learned sign language to help these people that didn't know how to speak sign language. I mean, she was like always trying to help people. She tried to understand it from their point of view. I mean, she used to stop and talk to people and stuff like that. She got killed in a shootout. And at the funeral home, which was aired because that was during COVID-19, but they didn't show it. I think they didn't show it like a month or two or something. I mean, they didn't show it right then, I know that. And it was a live feed of her funeral. And the people that supposedly work on, at the funeral home, they were saying sexual stuff about her body. Now, ain't that some fucked up shit? But I'm gonna try to find that other case of that sister, the other case of that victim that was actually burnt in 2 to 3 degree burns all over her body. I need to find that, because they are kind of trying to compare them to, but they saying that they lack of evidence and all that stuff. But it wouldn't be a lack of evidence if the people in the community pull together and start opening their mouths instead of keeping their mouth freaking closed. But anyways, y'all have a good one. I hope you enjoy. I hope if you see something, this is so fucked up. But if I'm sure have one of the posters too to put up there so y'all know what to call if anybody in that town see it and they start to actually feel fucking bad and want to help. So they're trying to keep everything quiet. That's not what I said. That's what the media said. It's a close-knit community. They keep to their self. Some people in the town are still like strangers or something like that. I'm like, okay. Anyways, y'all have a good one and take it easy. The other crime happened in Missouri, and he got away with a shotgun and burnt her house to the ground.
She is a 17-year-old Bailey girl who was found dead inside her burned-out home after being reported missing in December. Sally Mamdouh is live in Bailey tonight. Sally, guns and a safe were stolen from that home the night the fire happened.
That's right, Shannon. But let me tell you first, Park County Sheriff's Office held a press conference today for the first time since 17-year-old Maggie Long's death that happened at the end of last year. We're now hearing about this because they tell us they placed a gag order at the beginning of this case in fear of jeopardizing this investigation. However, today, investigators released to us some of the images of the items believed to have been stolen from Maggie Long's home the day she was murdered. Take a look at those items. The sheriff says green jade figures, an AK-47, a 9mm Beretta handgun, and a green safe were all missing from the home the day she was murdered. Here's what we know. Maggie's body was discovered December 1st inside her home that was burned. Today, her autopsy report was not made available to us because the sheriff says the report could tip off the suspect or suspects. Now, during this press conference, a $20,000 reward has been announced, and it's offered to anyone that could lead the sheriff.
Easy to hear.
We cannot express enough our sincere condolences to Maggie Long's loved ones and for your loss.
Park County Sheriff Tom McGraw gave the most detailed update in nearly a year,
And they deliberately chose to take her life.
on the investigation into the murder of 17-year-old Maggie Long.
Many of you knew Maggie. She was a smart, beautiful 17-year-old girl who was in charge of the VIP section for the concert at our high school on Friday night, December 1st, 2017. She went home that day to get more cookies and water for the audience, telling her friends, "I'll be right back." And she was never seen again.
New details show how sweet Maggie was and how awful her last moments must have been.
It saddens me greatly to tell you that Maggie was purposely set on fire and burned alive. We believe this was a targeted crime and that there were at least 3 suspects still at large.
Last May, the Maggie Long Task Force shared one suspect photo. On Monday, they shared a second.
The sketch before you is a mirror likeness of one of the 3 suspects.
For the first time, we see inside the Long family's burned home, the walls and floor blackened by fire and smoke.
The information we released, we want to generate activity. We want people to try and help us out on this case. And by releasing that information, that she was burned alive, it's going to generate extreme interest in this case.
Sheriff McGraw is just 3 weeks into his new job.
And this was one of my high priority things, was to get involved in the Maggie Long case. It just came at the right time with the task force having information that they wanted to release and myself coming into office.
Sheriff McGraw took over for Sheriff Fred Wagner. Sheriff Wagner held one press conference on the Maggie Long case, insisting to reporters there was no public threat. He decided to end his term in Florida, fishing, mostly handling the job through email. It's now up to a new sheriff to see this Maggie Long case through to the end. Noel Brennan, 9 News.